The Psalm 39 ambayo tumesomewa, the psalmist focuses on man's life. And it is as if the psalmist is petitioning God because of brevity of life. Mwandiki wa thaburi ĩno nĩ ta cira aracokia riko kwĩ Ngai nĩ ũndũ wa Ngai kũheana ũtũũro mũkuhĩ. He's petitioning God and he's telling God, you have reduced my life as a mere breath. Ũtuĩte muoyo wakwa nĩ ta mũhũmũko wa mĩhũmũ. Rũcinĩ nyuma ho, hwaĩ-inĩ ndagwo. The psalmist is complaining before God. He is petitioning God, you have reduced my life as mere breath. And that is why in verse 4 he is telling God, then show me how to count my days. Tondũ nĩ ũnyihĩtie mũtũũrĩre wakwa mũno rĩ, kĩmenyithie gũtara matukũ makwa mau makuhĩ ũndũ nĩwe waheire mo rĩ, kĩhotithie gũkĩmatara ĩ, that I may live with wisdom. Brethren, wakati mwandishi wa hii Zaburi anapotazama vile maisha yalivyo mafupi, he is going back to God the creator. It is actually going back to the manufacturer. He is going back to the author, asking him, because you have given me such a little moment, then show me how I can live a meaningful life in such short time. Arera Ngai, matuko maya manyinyi ũndũ nĩwe ũkĩhete rĩ, ndacoka kũrĩ we, kĩnyonie ũrĩa ingĩka that I may get meaning of life. Interestingly, owe agĩteta mbere ya Ngai nĩ tondũ wa ũkuhĩ wa matukũ aratiga aheana anja. Neno nĩyo very important. Because of the brevity of life, he is going and saying, unless I go back to the giver of this short life, outside him, I cannot live a meaningful life. Arenda kuga, we waheire matuko maya manyinyi rĩ, okorwo nĩmegũtuĩka nĩmekũgĩa na gĩtũmi rĩ, no ndĩngĩcokire kũrĩ we, ndĩgĩtũũre matuko maya ndĩ thĩinĩ waku, nĩgetha mathira magagĩa gĩtũmi. And I want to show you practically. Gwenda muone Njenga nĩ wa mĩaka igana, mũcoke muone nĩ andũ aigana mokĩte mathiko make. Because I want to assure you, your life will get meaning when you go back to the giver of that life and serve him. Hĩndĩ ĩrĩa rĩothe ũgũtũũra ũtũũro wĩ nja ya Ngai, ona ũngĩkanina mĩaka igana, nĩngwenda gũkwĩra mũndũ wa Ngai, ũtũũro waku ũgathira na ndũrĩ andũ aingĩ ũkahutia mĩtũũrĩre yao, tondũ no ũhutirie mĩtũũrĩre wĩ thĩinĩ wa Ngai. Wale wote ambao wameguzwa na maisha ya Njenga ni kwa sababu alirudi kwa, na ninaweza sema hapa kinagaubaga, our brother has lived a full life. He lived well serving God. It is unfortunate if you read the characters of Bible like Methuselah in Genesis chapter 5 verse 26 and 27. Methuselah lived 969 years. He is the longest living human being. But if you read the scripture, the Bible says, akĩhikania, akĩgĩa ciana, hatirĩ ũndũ ũngĩ wĩragwo wa Methuselah. Mũndũ ninĩte mĩaka 969, gũtirĩ ũndũ wĩragwo wake ũngĩ tiga gũciara na kũhikania, agĩgĩkua. I want to say, brethren, what matters in life is not the duration but donation. What matters in life, it is not the duration that you will live, but what have you donated to this life. Na diposa siku ya leo, Njenga at early 40s, he has donated to life. Niaheanite kuri uturo, akaheana kuri family, akaheana kuri bururi, na nikio kiria kiramakania ti ukanina miaka igana, kiria kiramakania ni ukahe bururi na uturo ki nigetha ugetha na meaning ya uturo. The psalmist is telling God, then if I'll get the meaning of life, it is unless I come back to you that you show me the way and wisdom to live this life. Jesus Christ lived 33 years. And because what matters in life is not duration but donation, even today, mundu wa miaka 30 Abel akuire munini, no kiugo kia Ngai in Hebrews kiugaga even in death no aragia, tondu kiria kiramakania ti miaka iri ugutura no ni uri ugwika na miaka iyo. Paul, he came in the ministry later than the other apostles, but he accomplished much than all other apostles. If you read in Corinthians, oigaga, I'm the least of the apostles. I'm not even worth to be called an apostle, for I persecuted the church. But when he donated his life back to God the giver, Paul got the meaning of his life. Na kuoguo toro wake ugituika effective, no toro wa Paul duorire. Brethren, our brother life was short, but it was full. He lived well in serving God. Andu aria monaga utoro wao thiini wa Ngai to gutura maturaga muturire wao ni uturaga no kairikanwo ni tondu ni mahutagia miturire ya andu a Ngai. Because serving God is to serve humanity. When you serve humanity, you touch God's heart. Now, after getting the meaning of life by going back to God, the author of life, hindi iria andu mahotaga gucoka kuri Ngai na makamenya Ngai no maturire uturo wake thiini wake, then the second part of my sermon is, when you get the meaning of life in God, then you can eat what is served in God's kitchen. Get me right. Then you can eat what is served in God's kitchen. Hindi iria wacokia muoyo waku kwi Ngai no toro waku ucokia kuri Ngai, kiria gigacabwo riko ria Ngai kiheanwo ni ukahota gukiamukira. Na riu haha John ithe wa Mwaura na Bidani na Miriam, riu thikiriria iwega. Ndiekani muri mwayuria niki gitumaga mikawe kandikwo usiingie jikoni. Usiingie waikara mwena uria usavwo na witikire kiria ugusavwo kiria rikio. I'm saying this, those who have gotten the meaning of life in God, they are able to eat what is served in God's kitchen. Even if it is contrary to their prayer, when it is served, ni mahotaga kuria. Let us meet Job, our first reading. And hear this. You and I, we don't know what is being cooked. We don't know what is being prepared for us in God's kitchen. But the question is, are we willing to receive what will be served in God's kitchen? Kwa muhiano, waitha wa Mwaura, thutha wa wiki imwe igiri ithatu, ni gwacabwo kindu kingi. No Ngai no kio aracabu na ndangiurio kiuria. Ni njiraga andu, God is never emotional, but intentional. He is never emotional. Ayubu, tondu ni amenyete utoro wake akaucaria thiini wa Ngai, muthenya urakia o umwe. And I want to tell you, Job had all reasons to be angry with God. Job had all reasons to be angry with God. Otoria ithe wa mora na ciana ciaku no mugie gitumi umuthi gia kurakarira Ngai ni tondu wa kiria mucathite nakio. But I want to tell you of a character that went before you. He received what was served in God's kitchen, na ndambire guthie korora jikoni ni nini na tayarishwa, but he received with an attitude of worship. Why? Because he knew there is meaning of life when in connected with God. Job slept being rich. Akomirie muthenya umwe gitonga, ucini agiukira ari muthini. Job slept one evening being a father. The morning he woke up being fatherless. Job turamuona gicabu kiria giacabirwo uturo-ini wake, but this he was not angry with God. Akirwo indo ni ciathira, akirwo uria gwaikara, ciana ni ciathira ciothe, ti umwe ciathirire ciothe, no kiugo kioiga agiukira, agitembũranga nguo, akienja njuĩrĩ, akiuga ndokire thĩ ĩno itarĩ kĩndũ, ngacoka itarĩ ona kĩ, rĩtwa rĩa Mwathani rĩrogathwo. An attitude of worship. I want to tell you, for you to receive whatever is being served in God's kitchen, it is a mark of Christian maturity. Kuhota kwamukagira kiria Ngai arakunengera with an attitude of worship, it is a mark of Christian maturity. And that is why I want to revolve now. How is our Christian maturity look like today? Ndiweka ni uri wanamenya a Christiano aingĩ ũmũthĩ rĩu mahana twana tũrĩa ndiweka ni uri wona kana karenda ku disciplinwo no na mwaciari atarĩ aroya rũthanju nĩ kanjirie kũrĩra na gatirĩ kara disciplinwo. This is what is happening to many Christians. Even before they landed into temptation, they have already backslidden. Ona matari marakinya igerio-ini ni magũire. No Job arenda kuonania the mark of Christian maturity, ya kwamba unaweza jipata kwa any trial na usimame bila kuaibisha Mungu. Hebu kumbuka Mungu anapouliza shetani, je, umemuona Ayubu mtumishi wangu na uone ya kwamba hana mawaa? He is upright and righteous man. But shetani alijibu Mungu akamwambia, Ayubu tigo kwenda akwendete, Ayubu ni kumuhaka umuhakite na irathimo. Na no wega kwamba kwa yule Mkristiano, can God mention you before Satan? Can God mention you in any way? Ngai no akugwetererie Saitani, ni unyoneire ng'ania, wone uria nyendete. Saitani acokagia koiga, ni undu muhete indo. Ngai agakimwira, go ahead, sihutie. Ayubu agathina, ni undu wa ciana, sihutie igathira. John, when you are mourning your husband, can God tell Satan, have you seen Joan? Ni unyoneire Joan, mutumia unyendete, ona atigitwo ni muthuri. Itho wa mwaura, utigitwo ni mutumia na ukarumirerio ni mwana. Ngai akoria Saitani, ni unyoneire Pastor William, wone muthuri unyendete, atigitwo ni mutumia na agatigwo ni ciana. Bidan and the rest, can God say, ni muonete ciana icio ndemehereirie mami wao na ngamehereria mũrũ wa nyina ati no manyendete? Will we ashame God in our trials? Will we ashame God in our hardships? Will we receive gladly what is being served in God's kitchen? Job, because of the mark of Christian maturity, anasimama na hajaibisha Mungu. Contrary, in the Bible, if you read Psalms 137, andũ a Juda matwarwo Babylon tondũ matiũĩ kwamũkĩra kĩrĩa kĩracabwo nĩ kicheni ya Ngai. Matwarwo Babylon, merire Ngai nĩwe watũrehe gũkũ na nĩ ithuĩ tũrakũinagĩra, gũkũinĩra gũkwĩrĩgia hau. Magĩcuria inanda na makiuga matikainĩra Ngai tondũ nĩ magire kwamũkĩra, tondũ gũtirĩ na mark of Christian maturity. Wakakataa kumsifu Bwana kwa sababu wao wanafikiri Mungu ni wa kusifiwa wakati tu mambo yako sawa. Walikataa kumsifu Bwana. Ni watu wangapi wanashindwa kumsifu Bwana wakati